SMCI has made around a 4% movement up, showing that buyers are really trying to push price higher, seeing a nice green wide bar, breaking out of this consolidation range after getting that movement up. Now, will buyers blow through that $54.20 level and continue up, seeing price start to move towards that $66 level of that previous high, or is sellers going to find that rejection here and push us back down? Now, starting this analysis on the weekly time frame, if you guys been following the videos, we have seen a break of this major long-term resistance stemming from that high of 122.90. We rejected off that point a few times, guys, and that last time being around that $66 level, bringing us back down, and we kind of just slowly bleed out of that zone. Do get a little bit of another rejection here, but we stay to the top of that zone and we bleed out, seeing very nice ascending profile and price. Now we're currently testing that $54.20 level. So buyers have ultimate control after finding this ascending support. After we hit around that $17 level, climb on that ascending support, we test that zone once again, get a small low retracement, but we stay tight, as every single other time that we've bounced off that resistance, we've seen a sharp volatile movement down. So stay up tight, kind of just bleed out, no crazy volatility getting out of that zone. But once we fully claim that zone, we do see buyers stay in that ultimate control, seeing a very sharp ascending profile. And currently, guys, as we take the drawings off, see a lot of buying pressure as sellers try to push us around that 48.70 to 48.80 level, but buyers buy it right back up. For new traders here, a long bottom wick means a lot of buying pressure, right? Sellers try to push us to that level. We bought it back up, closing around that 54.47. So great price action, guys, in the shorter term time as well as the long term time, right? We've broken through that long term resistance. We've continued up. Sellers could not get that pullback. They cannot regain that momentum whatsoever. We're seeing very nice buyer continuation after breaking out of a very important zone. And guys, this zone of 54 to 66 is very much an exit pathway. We don't see a lot of chop here. As we got in there, we just surpassed that very nicely, getting to that high. And as we got below it, 3 to 4 weeks within that zone, until we plummeted. After we got above that 54, we went right to that 66, but we wicked off and couldn't hold in there. So if we did get a break, guys, very good possibility that we breeze through that zone, reclaiming that 66, trying to get over that if price history repeats itself. And given how strong that this stock has held up, guys, you just see a very sharp ascending profile. Very good chance that we definitely do see a break of that 54, retesting that previous high of 66. All right, guys, now on the daily chart, the main thing that sticks out to me in the most recent price action is this wide green bar. As we touched up on these type of formations, right, we see an obvious shift in momentum, right? We see a little bit of back and forth, right? We get that tight consolidation, we get that movement up above that $50 level, and we tap around that 54 a few times, tapping it here, tapping it once again, and sellers try to get in that control, pushing us under that 50, but then buyers buy it right back up, stepping in when they need to step in. And we do see, right, 3 green candles in a row, followed up with a very nice wide green bar, showing an obvious shift in momentum. As we kind of saw back here, guys, right? Quite similar. Had a lot of chop, no prominent candles, right? We've seen a couple pretty nice red wide bars, but nothing too prominent. And then we see green bar and a prominent wide green bar, leading to that continuation, getting into a different higher up consolidation zone. It's exactly what we see here, right? Pretty reminiscent of that candle there. If we take a step further back, right? Not as drastic, because this candle right here is a very drastic shift, as we were kind of consolidating on that ascending support, meaning with that ascending support on that $37 level, kind of bouncing back and forth, pretty volatile here. But once we do have to get a break of this resistance here, right, this shorter term resistance, we see a very nice green wide bar showing that buyers are winning that battle, as somebody has to win. Either sellers push us down or buyers bring us up. And buyers did bring us up, followed up with a gap up and a test of that very long resistance here. Right, we can't hold that, so we do get shut down a little bit, but we meet back up with the support that we found here after that breakout. We kind of trend out of that zone. We don't see a volatile movement up, right? We don't see a huge volatile move after breaking out of that zone. We've tested it multiple times, right? But we kind of just bleed out. And once we do get over that $44 level, which was a little bit of a stubborn resistance zone, right? Kind of tapping here, kind of tap there again, and that leads to a further breakdown. So once we really solidify our movement out, we see another very prominent green wide bar and bring us to a different consolidation chop, say around that 46 to that $50 psychological level. And we chop here pretty tightly, lots of back and forth here, but we do get that movement up and we get in a further up consolidation zone. So we go from pretty volatile chop here, but breaking out of a major zone, right? You see an obvious consolidation pattern here to a nice movement up as buyers gain that control. And then we see a new consolidation formed, and we get another move up, forming another consolidation, another tight range. And what we see here, guys, is pretty reminiscent of what we've seen already with the stock, kind of getting a move up, chopping, getting a move up, chopping. So we get that very nice, obvious wide green bar, showing that we are ready for another leg up into this, 54 to $66 territory, showing that we definitely look very nice going into next week, guys. I think we have a lot of buyer momentum on our side. If volume can really ramp up here, guys, we could see some volatility really sink back in with SMCI, as this thing can be very volatile. We see in the past that big run up to 66. This thing can get very volatile, as we've seen right there, right after hitting around that $37 support. We really skyrocket up to that 66, and we've held tighter given that this was a very volatile range, and we do kind of bleed out of it like we explained. I see a bit of volatility to this 46 to 50 consolidation zone, but we're really holding quite tight compared to this past price action, and we're kind of just ascending. So to see an obvious shift in momentum in this newer price action, guys, looking very nice for that break of 54. We either get a retracement very quickly, right, bear step in, mirroring that candle, see a mirroring red candle, trying to keep us within this range of 50 and 54, or buyers really ramp it up here, guys. And I think volume could really surge in as buyers try to push us higher and kind of breaking through aggressively, seeing a volatile move to that 66, as we're really starting to see a bit of increased buyer presence with this most recent daily candle. This could be a very quick move, as we saw, in the past here, or it could take us some time, but I think we look very good here unless some very drastic bad news gets in the way. I think we look very good to that $66 level. And on the bear side, watch for a retracement quickly, as we are in an ascending range, right? We've seen these big moves up, consolidate, big moves up, consolidate tighter, solid move up, and consolidate quite tightly. And now we're getting a bit of a trend shift. Bears got to get in control sooner than later, as this path of 54 to 66, very much an exit zone. There's not a whole lot of chop unless there's new price action that we see here. All right, guys, take you to the hourly. We see a better perspective of those moves up and the chop. So we see a lot of chop at that breakout range where we're breaking out of this long-term resistance, kind of volatile here. Find a bit of an ascending support. We see how, reactive this stock is. As we find these support levels and these resistance levels, it really does react to hitting those levels, right? We see a pretty obvious resistance of that 44, as that's been a resistance for some time. Ride this descending support, find this ascending support, ride that up, hit that 44 multiple times. You see it all the times we reject off that, guys, being a very important resistance there. And we kind of just try to get above it, get back below it, but then the buyers step in here, nice green bar, really bringing us above that, and we see nice continuation up to around that 47 to 46 level. Chop between that, guys, and then we see a movement up once again, like we examined on the daily, and we see a bit more chop. Sellers try to push us under that 50 zone, getting us back in this previous consolidation zone, but they cannot do that. And then we end up seeing a very nice ascending profile after the sellers try to beat us down, but the buyers buy right back up, and seeing a very nice continuation back up to the top of that zone of that 54, slightly breaking through it as we close. So beautiful signs on the hourly, guys, really correlates to what we're seeing in our analysis on the daily. We're seeing buyers win this medium to long-term battle, right, ascending us up. We're seeing big moves up, chop, big moves up, chop. And as the sellers try to step in here, as we've broken through a very major zone for some time now, and buyers have been in that ultimate control, they try to get their move in, but they cannot, right? Buyers find that support, and they bring us right back up. Now we're testing the top of that range and slightly breaking through as we close. So definitely could be seeing a pretty volatile move up, guys, right? As in this zone, there's not a lot of chop unless there's new price action that we haven't seen yet. I remain very much bullish. SMCI is in a very nice position for the buyers. For the bears, you guys want to see sellers get into control sooner than later, as that zone of 54 to 66, very much a quick pathway, right? Price doesn't really like to mess around in that zone. It's either up or down. As we saw here, big breakout, kind of retracing more than half that movement. We've seen a very nice ascending profile for some time, breaking out of a very major resistance. So all the signs point to a big movement up, a continuation of this ascending movement where buyers can really pick up that steam, guys, possibly blowing us through that $66 level. Now, let me know your price predictions in the comments below. And if you guys want me to continue to cover SMCI, make sure to like and subscribe. That's all I got for you guys. And as always, trade smart, and I'll see you all in the next one.